do a black tank video today, and I really wasn't going to uh, do a bunch of things like that because there are about 10,000 of them on the YouTube channel anyway. But this couple did a video a couple of weeks ago. They had purchased a new pull behind trailer, I don't know, probably 6 weeks ago, and they did a video on how they were kind of surprised about how much other stuff they had to buy, and there is all that stuff. There's no disagreement there, but I do disagree with having to buy that special RV toilet paper, and I commented on that on their channel, and a couple of people thought that maybe that was true or not, but I use this dollar store stuff, and I'm not doing any commercial for dollar stores. It's just that I don't see any point in spending money on something that you don't have to spend it on. Now, most people living in RVs are on some kind of budget anyway. Now, I'm not talking about the wealthy driving the $300 Class A with a Volvo pulled in back of it and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about a lot of the people you see on YouTube. They have a certain amount of income. They may be off work camping somewhere like I am right now, trying to pick up a few bucks to help make ends meet or whatever. So I just don't see any point in spending $4, give or take, depending on where you buy it, on this special toilet paper. Now, I've been living in this Class C now for somewhere around 1.5 years or maybe a little longer. I've had to empty my black tanks a lot of times, and I've just never had any issue using this regular old toilet paper. And something else I could say is a lot of you have heard of the Nomadic Fanatic. He did a video a long time ago. He said he uses that Angel Soft that you can just buy at Walmart. That's inexpensive toilet paper too. So that's the only thing that this is about today. But I'm going to go out and empty my black tank and my gray tank. I'll let them get both almost full, and so that I can do this demonstration today. But I'm going to show you how I sort of, you might call it back rinse the black water tank. And I'll show you how I do that, a little gizmo device that I bought to do that with. And so I'm going to empty this black tank and then the gray tank, and show you that I'm not getting a clog and just using this regular old buck toilet paper, because I just don't believe in spending money when you just don't need to spend it. I'm not frugal. If something is better than something else, I'll pay the extra money for it. I go into a mechanic shop, I never ask them to do me a cheap job. I'll pay for what it costs. But just to spend money to just to be spending it, then I just don't see that that makes any sense. So anyway, let's get going with this chore. Okay, now once again, here in Iowa, I don't get to choose whether the wind blows or not. It's going to blow whether I want it to or not. But anyway, this is a normal way you'll have your sewer hose hooked up. And I always leave my black tank closed, because you need the fluids, which is the urine and the water you're using to flush your toilet, blah blah blah, to help keep that loose. Do not keep your drain open for the black tank when you're parked somewhere in a campground. Leave it closed. You can leave your gray water tank open. That'd be fine. But what you want to do is let this black tank build up until you're either ready to leave the campground or until it starts to get full. And then you want to make sure that for 2 or 3 days, however long it takes, you take showers and wash dishes and everything with the gray tank closed also, and fill that tank up. Now this is the way I normally have it. because what I'm about to do, I don't do but about once every 10 or 12 times. But anyway, you want to get you a third valve, and that's what this is. This opens and closes just like your regular black water tank valve or your gray water tank valve. But I'm going to add this right now, so now I have 3 valves, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to hook this back up. Okay, now that's hooked back up. Now I'm going to open this third valve that I just added. Now I'm going to open my black tank valve. And I'm going to let this run until it completely runs out. And obviously with this clear elbow, that'll be real easy to see. It doesn't take too long for this to happen. You can see it's starting to run down there now. And there was no issue with that dollar store toilet paper. It's running just fine. Now I'm starting to end up with some solids here. It's flowing slowly. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this third valve. Leave the black tank valve open. Open your gray water tank. Now what's happening is that water in the gray water tank is going into the black water tank. And it's going to go in there until it levels out. And this is going to aid in flushing that black water tank. Now don't worry about any of that black water getting in the gray water. It's just not going to happen. It's against the laws of physics. If it did, it wouldn't make any difference. You're not drinking that in. So let's give that a couple of minutes. That should be about all it takes. Now I've run a lot of gray water into the black water tank. Now I'm going to open up this third valve. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can see some solids coming out with the gray water. I know I could turn the camera on and off here and there right now, but I just want you to see the whole process. I can still see some solids coming out of there, but the water will start to clear up. That water's almost perfectly clear now after being run into the black tank. Also, I'll give you fair warning, my sewer hose is way too long, so I'm going to do a video on cutting that in half and making it so that I can use just one end of it or both ends of it. That'll be coming up in a couple of days. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, and I'm going to let this finish running. This last little bit, that's still dribbling just a little bit, but we're not going to worry about it. Now, right now we want to make sure that all of our valves are closed. Gray water, black, and the third valve. I'm going to take my sewer hose loose. Now, I'm going to leave the field of view just a second because I'm going to empty this out completely. I have a cap for that, but I'm not going to put it on it because I'm going to take this loose. Put that hose back on there. I'm going to open my gray water. Yeah, I'm ready. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but I'm going to open up this toilet and I'm going to see if this camera will look down into that black water tank, because I'm pretty sure you'll be surprised at what you see here. Now, I've released the water pressure. Now, if you can see down in there, that's about as clean as I think anybody would expect a black water tank to be. And like I said, that's using dollar store toilet paper, and there's no buildup, and there are no big clumps or anything else to deal with down there. So as far as I'm concerned, that's project complete and project well done. So anyway, if you want to use that expensive stuff, go right ahead, but I'm sticking with my $1 for 4 rolls. And just to mention, that stuff is cushiony enough and soft enough for me. Now, it might not be for you, but you know, just try it and see. That's all I can tell you. So just in closing, I did catch what I said earlier about the $300 Class A. Don't we all wish? I was talking about a $300,000 Class A. And I think we all know that. But just a couple other things. I didn't mention how much I paid for that third valve. You can buy those. They're not very expensive. I think mine came together, the third valve and that little clear elbow. I believe that came in one package, and I think it was probably somewhere between $20 and $25. I don't think it was much more than that, but I've really appreciated it, and I believe it's worth it. And I bought that at Camping World, if anybody wants to know. But I think you can probably buy that stuff at about any RV dealer that has that little store where you can buy stuff like that. And some of you might talk about or think about the fact that I wasn't wearing gloves. When I first started emptying black tanks, I did wear gloves. I tried those little elastic latex gloves, and the things just didn't work out that well for me. They kept tearing and all that stuff, and I'd have to go get another one, and I just didn't feel that was any big deal as far as sanitation goes. The bacteria or the germs, whatever you want to call it. I tried using those brown gloves, which through the years that I was doing construction work, I used those a lot, and I really like those brown gloves, and I use them today. But I don't use them to change the sewer hose out. I just ended up, I thought, with a couple of just really nasty brown gloves. So what I do is I just make sure that each time after I touch that, and after I drain the tanks and all that, I have some of that antibacterial soap that I keep at the sink. And so I'll wash my hands real good with that. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough. Now, you know, if you want to wear Playtex living gloves and go through all that, well, go right ahead. But I'm not sure that going into a bathroom at Walmart and coming out and touching the doorknobs is any worse than that sewer hose. You'll have to make up your own decision about that. But anyway, if anyone has any questions about what I do with this, emptying those tanks, please put it in the comments, and I'll answer for sure. But a lot of times when I'm trying to do something or explain something that I know in my head, I skip over a lot of the little details. So if there are any little details that you want to know, just go ahead and ask in the comments, and I'll get right back to you. But anyway, I appreciate you watching this episode of Solo Roaming today, and thank you very much. We'll see you next time with that little hose shortening project that I'm going to do. Thanks a lot.